Hello everyone, welcome back to Tutoring Mathematics. My name is Victor and today we're going to be learning about trigonometry, more specifically finding missing angles. We used trigonometry to find missing sides in the last lesson, but what if we know the sides and what if we find the angle theta itself? So today we use inverse trigonometry to unlock that angle. So this is going to be our triangle, as you can see right here. Hold up, zoom. There should be a zoom. That's it. Okay. And so we want to find angle theta. Our vertical side is 7. The horizontal base, which is our adjacent one, is going to be 10. Now, you technically could use Pythagoras here and just try to find like what's our hypotenuse. But that's a little bit boring. So step one is going to be exactly the same. You want to label the triangle. You want to say like, okay, where is our hypotenuse? Is always going to be this diagonal right here. And then O and A is going to be the exact same way that we did it last time in the last videos. Hypotenuse here is blank. Opposite the angle is 7. Adjacent to the angle is 10. We have O and A. And we look at, if we were to write out SOH, CAH, and TOA. Sorry, TOA. Let's find so we have, how many letters do we have in this triangle that we know info of? Technically, you can say, oh, but we can use all three, right? This is not the case here, because in the first one, SOH, you know O, but you don't really know H, how long is it? In the second one, you do know A, but you don't know H. So in these first two here, you don't know H. You have to use the third one, which is TOA. So it's going to be tangent. So we're going to be using TOA. So let's just delete all that and let's just mark that here. They're going to be using TOA and we're going to be writing that out. So our formula that we're going to be writing out, because we're using TOA, which is going to be tangent of theta, which is going to be the opposite divided by the tangent, or the adjacent, sorry. We're going to, we have chosen our formula. Now we're going to substitute the numbers in. So tan of theta is 7/10. That should be it. Now, this is the hard part where you have to use a calculator, because you want to be getting rid of this tan on the left. Yes, there is a thing that is called using a inverse tan, where you will write something like this. This is something that you cannot do on your own by hand. This is something that you have to rely on using a calculator here. So this is called written as tan to the power of -1 to the other side. So theta will equals inverse tan of the fraction 7/10. Now on your calculator, you usually have to press shift or second and then the tan button right here. I don't have the calculator, I'm sorry, to get the little -1. So if you use shift and then use sin, cos, and tan, you will usually get a root function, something like this, and then you plug in your fraction, and then usually it will output a number of the angle. And in this case, it should give us, after you have typed in inverse tan bracket 7 divided by 10 close bracket, you should get something like 34.99. Something like that. The angle is going to be approximately 35 degrees. So let's do that one more time. What if the we were to draw another triangle, and let's see, I want to draw a triangle where the hypotenuse is 20, right? And the, what is it called? The hypotenuse is 20, so this is going to be the angle. And what if the opposite is going to be pretty close to that, like this? Hold up. Here, this is what I mean. So this is what I mean by that. I am trying to find this theta angle, okay? This theta angle. And I'm imagining that the hypotenuse is going to be h, which is going to be 20, and the opposite is going to be 18, okay? Technically, you could also solve this with Pythagoras, but we're using stuff we just learned here to solve and find a, which is our adjacent right here. So let's just see what numbers. Let's just write out the formulas: SOH, CAH, and then TOA. Let's see what two letters that we know info of. We know that there's O and H, so we choose this. We can't choose the other two because we know H here, yes, but we don't know A, so get rid of that. We don't know A here. So SOH, we will write sin theta is O over H, because opposite over hypotenuse. We substitute the numbers together. We have 18 here. Hypotenuse is 20. So we have this. What we need to do is to plug in our calculator. We need to write theta, which is equals to sin of, to the power, or inverse sin, of course, to the power of -1 of 18 over 20. And this is what you should actually write in your test papers, something like this. And then if you were to calculate this out, then on your calculator, you will receive something that is around 64.16 degrees, something like this. And remember, in degrees as well. Also, if you want to check if anything, label choose inverse. Yes, that is the process there for our habits there. And so, yes, you do want to make sure that does the magnitude make sense visually, because if you look at our first triangle, that's our second triangle right here. That should be the full one. Yeah, but if you look at the first triangle, you have to see whether or not it actually makes sense or not. So the base is 10 and the height is 7, so it is wider than it is tall, so the angle should be less than 45 degrees. We got 35, which is very good. It makes logical sense. If you got something like 70 or 80 degrees, then you kind of made a mistake. So try to recalculate that again. Okay, so today's habits: to kill a, we're not killing anyone, but we're trying to get rid of the annoying trig functions, of course. So use the inverse button, which is shift on your calculator, and then always verify the angle within your eyes using asking yourself, does the magnitude make sense visually? Okay, that should be it. I'll see you next time. Leave your questions down in the comments. Thanks for watching.